Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where I will crochet it forward in this video by showing you how to make these really cute owls, sharing my owl pattern. These are on branches and they also have magnets on the back. They're fridgies to attach to your magnets, and these are just other patterns and other ways that you can make this pattern into your own. So the materials you're going to need, I just used some worsted weight yarn, scrap yarn. This is a 4 and this is a 3. You're going to need one size smaller for your eyes and your feet. You're going to need some gluey eyes if that's the route you're going to go. Some crochet thread if you have that handy. A glue gun. Scissors. I have 2 sizes of needles here, sewing needles. And maybe a stick or 2 from your backyard. And I did use 2 hooks. I used a 5.5 and a 4.5 because we go a whole size smaller when we do the nose and the feet. And again, I always just keep my smaller crochet hook on standby to help with my ends. The first thing you want to do is go ahead at this point and plug in your glue gun if you're going to use these eyes for your owl, and then grab the color that you're going to use for your owl and make a magic circle. You can make that any way you want. Tons of way to make it, no right way, it's whatever you're comfortable with. We're going to chain 2, which does not count as a stitch, and we are going to make 20 double crochets in that magic circle. Okay, and that's just yarning over, pull up a loop in the magic circle, yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2 loops. That is a double crochet. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. Now make 15 more double crochets. After you have completed your 20 double crochets, you want to fasten your magic circle and then slip stitch to the top of your first double crochet and not the chain 2. Okay, we're going to skip that same stitch and work in the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and we're going to make 2 double crochets. We're going to make a picot stitch, chain 1, chain 2, and then right here we are going to slip stitch in the front stitches. Let me see if I can put that right there. So I've chained 2, and then we have these 2 stitches closest to us. That is where we are going to slip stitch. And in that same stitch we're going to make another 2 double crochets. We're going to chain 2. In the next stitch we're going to slip stitch, we're going to chain 2, and in the next stitch we're going to make 2 double crochets, 1, 2, our picot stitch, chain 1, chain 2, and again in those 2 loops facing us or closest to us, we are going to slip stitch. Yarn over, and in the same stitch we're going to make another 2 double crochets. Let me start that over. 1, 2, and then we're going to skip that next stitch. Well, actually in the next stitch we are going to slip stitch. We're not going to skip a stitch. We're going to slip stitch right into that next stitch, and then cut your yarn. Go ahead and work in your ends. After you have sewn in your ends, you're going to come over here, and after that last ear that you made, you're going to count over 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th we are going to make an extended double crochet. Now you'll have to do this, hang on to your hook, whichever right hand or left hand, and the loop on there we're going to yarn over and this is like a standing extended double crochet. We're going to go into our stitch, pull up our yarn over, go through 1 loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And you can also make a triple crochet if you're not comfortable with this, but as long as you're hanging on to the initial loop with your finger, your index finger, it should work. So we're going to make 7 of these in a row, and this is an extended double crochet or a triple crochet if you're more comfortable. The pattern is will still come out the same with a triple crochet. So this is our 3rd, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you want to fasten off and sew in your ends and grab your yarn. After sewing in your ends, this is what your owl should be looking like. And now we want to grab our 3.0 millimeter hook and get a slip knot. We're going to turn our owl upside down, and we have 7 extended double crochets. Now what we want to do is skip 1, 2, 3, and we are going to make his feet on one side to the right, and then there's the 4th extended double crochet, and then the other one over here, and that is going to be picots. So what you want to do is go, okay, so we're counting 1, 2, 3. We're going to go in to the right side of our 4th extended double crochet or stitch, slip to join, okay, and then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. The picots are going to be 3 chains. Then we're going to slip stitch, same stitch, and you will need a smaller or a thinner yarn. So I was using worsted weight number 4 for the original owl. The feet are going to need to be 3. I suppose you could play with it with the same kind of yarn, but this is how the pattern works up. So we did 1 picot. Now we're going to go to the other side of our number 4th stitch, and if you can't see it, 1, 2, 3, 4, just go to your next on the other side of that 4th stitch, slip stitch, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch in that same stitch again, and cut your yarn. Okay, so you have these 2 feet, one across from each other. Now what I generally do is I work these tails to the back. Sorry about that. My son was trying to let me know that he was leaving, and I'm like, recording, there's a reason why the door is locked. While he has his friend on speakerphone. So again, I'm sorry about that. So then we're going to turn it around, and this is how I just, this is a one-sided project, so you can sew them in if you want. I'm just going to make a sturdy 3 knots. Okay, and now let's move on to his nose. For your owl's nose, you're going to need to thread your needle, and I'm using the same yarn as I did with his feet, and we're going to make a French knot, and I will show you how to do that. Some of you that have been following me for a while or watching my videos know that I've done that quite a bit. What it is just taking your sewing needle, and what we're going to do is, you see this space right here, right where the middle of his ears are, that's what we're going to try to cover up. We're going to use that as a center, so we're going to come up underneath that space and grab our yarn and then go right across. See that space right there? We're going to go right on top of that, okay? And then it could be a little a little tedious, and we're going to come back out into the same space or right underneath or in that vicinity of the initial working yarn. At this point, you want to take your owl and fold it, okay, pinching it with these 4 fingers on the top and then this one on the bottom, or vice versa. And then we're going to take our yarn and wrap it around the needle tip. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we're going to do this loosely because we have to pull the needle through all 4 of those wraps. So go ahead, pinch at the bottom, the base of your needle where all the yarn is, and then just slowly pull your yarn, and then go right back in that same area, if not the same stitch, and then you'll have this little, see if you can see it, this little tiny nose. I probably should have used orange like I did with the initial ones, but I can't find my orange. And then just tie a knot like this. Okay, and now we're going to grab our glue gun and our eyes and then our stem. All right, once you have your glue gun warmed, we're going to grab our eyes here and just stick a little dab of glue in the back and stick them right in the middle of your nose, okay, because you can see there's like a little, from where we've made those 4 double crochets, we're kind of covering that up. It's like that stitch is kind of big, leaving a space, but it's a perfect landmark for us to make our oops, and I forgot to take this out, to make our, or to put our eyes, okay? And then grab your little stem or whatever you're going to use. I just grabbed this from the backyard. And what we're going to do is we're going to go behind that 1 stitch, that 4th stitch. Remember, we made 7 extended double crochets, or maybe you made the triple crochets. But in that 4th one, it's the center one. We have 3 this way to the left and 3 to the right. All we're going to do is just stick this, stick your stem underneath it, and then at this point you want to get your picots, which might be a little hidden there, get them pulled up, I mean, up and out, and that is where we're going to stick a little dab of our glue. So it looks like the owl's feet are over the stem. So we're going to stick it like right in the middle of that stitch. And then you just, I like to work with it upside down. It's better for me. And then just pinch it. That way you have these feet that look like they're over, like their claws are over the stuff. Oops. Just like that. And then there we have our little owl. Here I just want to show you a bigger version by doubling up the yarn. It's the exact same pattern. And also, if you don't have like the glue gun and the glue sticks, I have found that using this E6000 works just as good. And I want to show you a couple variations that I have here. This is just using the white circles and then smaller black circles for the eyes. Here I have done a two-tone. I did the top part of the owl in white, and then I just did some 2 stitches here, forming a V for the eyes closed. In this one I did some variegated yarn. Again, it's the exact same pattern. You can play with it. I did use some crochet thread, and then also if you don't have crochet thread, and I did the eyes with just solid black with the little white lines, what I did is I split the yarn here and use 2 strands, which works just as good if you don't have the crochet thread. It's just a little improvised there. And then here is a project that I'm working on, a bunch of little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5 C2C squares, and I'm going to make a bunch of I've already made a bunch of these pink owls, all solid color, sleeping, and I'm going to attach them to a granny. So I'm thinking about making a video on that. Let me know if your thoughts, if you're interested. And this is the pretty much reason why I did the owl pattern to begin with. I just wanted to do a corner of a sleeping owl on a branch with some leaves and a moon over here and a hat and some stars. And this is a C2C, I think it's 32 by 32, and it comes in different colors, and I just had it for a while and I didn't know what to do with it. But yeah, I went on ahead and did that. I will have the directions on how to make the leaves and also the moon. The stars are just a tie, and then you cut it real close. And then the border itself was a couple single crochet borders, and then I just used the colors that were already in the pattern here of the corner, and then I did a picot edging. So I did 1, 2, 3, actually there's black here, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet rows, and then a single crochet row with a picot of 3 chains in every 4th stitch. So yeah, that's my video and my pattern. I hope you like it. Just want to state my disclosure. I'm not a professional videographer. I do not have a professional camera. I record from my tablet. I welcome constructive comments, as I am a work in progress. Cruel and vicious comments will not be tolerated. My apologies if I was confusing. Please check the information box for further clarification. I appreciate everyone's patience, and also I'm just going to apologize again for the video itself having the volume so low. And I'm sharing the pattern because you can really see up close what I'm doing, and if I'm going too fast, you can always control the settings on your end under the settings option on your screen. So together, let's continue to crochet it forward. Bye now.